everybody. Welcome to ABA Inside Track, the podcast that's like reading in your car, but safer. I'm your host, Robert Perry Cruz, and with me as always are my fabulous co-hosts.
Oh, hey there, kitty cats.
Nope, stop. Cut this episode. This episode doesn't exist now.
Oh my gosh, that's Jackie's Delilah voice.
It is. Hey there, nighttime listeners. This is Bedtime with Jackie.
Who else is here?
I'm laughing too hard to tell you that this is Diana.
Oh boy, and welcome
Wow.
to the
That was
August
awesome.
2024. I almost said 2022, wrong year. 2024 August preview for ABA Inside Track. Now, most of the time, if you're listening to ABA Inside Track, it sounds less whatever Jackie was doing and more about behavior analysis and behavior analytic research.
Debatable.
Less bedtime.
Less bedtime, more wake up and talk about journal articles. But at the beginning of every month and at the end of every month, if you're listening on our Patreon feed, we do these little preview episodes to share a little bit about what's going on for ABA Inside Track, talk about what episodes we have coming out in the month, and share any other things that we think would be fun to talk about that don't fit into a regular episode. So if we sound a little different, it's because we are not recording in our normal space. We're actually recording up in Utica, New York at the Upstate Caring Partners Conference, Compassionate Care Conference. We actually just got finished doing trivia. We had a trivia night here. We did our ABA Inside Track trivia. We had a lot of fun. Thanks for everyone who came out. We had a pretty full house. I had to project a lot, so if my voice sounds tired, it's because I've been screaming for an hour. Hooray! But we're up here at the conference. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a panel. We're going to be moderating a panel, I should say, and then doing a live recording here in beautiful Utica. We haven't gotten to see much of it because there was a bad storm the other night. And
So bad.
Di and I just got in. But so far, we're loving what we see. So that's what we're doing. That's what we do with our nights.
This
is
hotel
podcasts.
room is great.
I don't know about the acoustics for podcasting, but it's great for staying in. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. But Diana, why don't you talk a little bit about what we're doing here? I mentioned we're moderating a panel. Who are some of our guests that are going to be on the panel tomorrow?
Yes, so exciting. We're just the moderators for this panel, but we're really lucky that we have been provided with some amazing panel members who are going to talk about creating cultural shifts within the field of behavior analysis. And so that's going to be Megan De Leon, Natalie Williams-Awodehe, Peter Gerhardt, and D2 Rajaraman are all going to come and talk about the things that they're doing to create change in our field, which is going to be really exciting. By the time you hear this, it will be over. So hopefully you got to come. And if not, you should plan on coming to this conference next year. There are a lot of, as we say in the panel, movers and shakers here.
And people are very jazzed.
Yeah.
Like already, we just did our trivia tonight, and everyone that we've talked to is like super, super excited and really energetic about ABA. And also I've heard that the food is going to be off the hook because we get both breakfast and lunch and snacks.
Hey-o.
And you know that is what I'm into when conferences give me food.
I mean, that's on the
Jackie's
list.
into.
It's on the list of what's good in a conference. The food has to be. Food has to be there. The speakers, that's nice, I guess. The location, okay. What's the food like?
Yeah, lots of awesome energy here. Upstate Caring Partners, UCP, and Dr. Eric Jacobson are bringing the energy for this conference.
He is bringing it.
Yeah. Exciting stuff.
Yeah. In other conference news, I know by the time this comes out, Baba's BlackCon will have occurred. We weren't able to go this year, but hopefully that went off really well. We had a great time talking with the presidents about that. Hopefully you heard some of our little, clips of that, and, hoping to hear some reports from listeners and from the organizers about how that went. But as of this recording, just because of our schedule, it has not happened yet. So we haven't heard about how that went. But I think something cool about summer conferences. So hopefully a lot of folks got to go to that as well. And then that's it for conferences. And then we got August coming up, and then it's going to be crazy conference season, because the fall seems to be the conference time. So yeah, so that's where we are
and if
now.
If you're looking for us in the fall, we'll be at the Thompson Center conference in September. I believe that's September 15th or 16th or 17th and 18th. I can't remember which one. And we'll also be at the Babbitt conference in October.
Yeah.
Worcester.
That's still a little bit of a ways away. How's everyone's summer been so far? In August, where it's coming up on August, it's gonna be the last month of summer vacation for many of us. I know Diana and I have some fun trips. We've put off a lot of our trips, and then they sort of start in earnest later. So we've been doing a lot of podcasting so we can have a little time off in August. Diana's very excited to go to her favorite place on earth, Disney World. She loves it. That's all she wants to talk about. She's sharing these great factoids about, did you know there was supposed to be a mannequin in the Haunted Mansion, and now he's actually on Tom Sawyer's Island. She's telling me these great facts every day. I'm not that excited.
That's totally how it's going down.
I'm not that excited at all. I don't care. What do I care?
It's actually opposite. It's opposite day over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what we're doing. So we haven't actually done too many summer things outside of, surviving the heat like so many folks have had to do, and doing a lot of walking. It's good stuff.
We went camping the other weekend, and some other people had their stuff out, like they were packing up their car, and so they'd put like an oscillating fan, like you would stand up, that I guess they had somehow plugged in. And so our son took a picture of it because there was a squirrel that was like standing in front of the fan, and it looked like he was like enjoying the fan even though the fan was not on. And so I sent back to him, hot squirrel summer.
That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
That's really good.
So I kind of feel like I am having a hot squirrel summer a little bit. It's been quite hot, and I have been running around quite a lot, kind of like a squirrel.
Yeah. I'm doing a lot of traveling this summer. Far too much, actually.
Yeah.
Just driving to New York State over and over and over again.
Just on repeat.
Just on repeat every weekend. I'm just somehow back here again in New York State. And while I was driving to the conference yesterday, a tornado struck within 15 miles
So scary.
of my car. And it was terrifying, and I was pretending that I was not terrified because my child was in the back seat. So I was like playing it cool, listening to one song on repeat, because that was the
As one does.
Because it's like the one. She's like, "Why are we listening?" Like, I'm trying to memorize the words. She's like, "You already know the words." I'm like, "Well, I'm going to keep listening to this.
I'm gonna keep my hands on the wheel right now.
Over and over and over again.
Oh, I'm
if you
glad
want to
you
know
were
what
okay.
it was, but if you want to know what the song was,
Yeah.
it was All Vase. That's the band, and the song is called Dreams Tonight, and it's so good. So
Okay.
you all should listen to it. It's very good, and it kept me safe during my drive.
There's something about when you're listening to music and you're like futzing with the radio or futzing with your podcasts that you don't really realize how much attention that takes until you're trying to do that while you're driving through pouring rain, and you're like, oh no, this takes a lot of cognitive effort on my part to say, what show do I want to listen to, or what song is this, or let's skip around. And
You should not be messing with your phone while you're driving.
I'm doing it through my Apple CarPlay, radio focus, all that stuff. All that stuff takes way more focus than you would think. So if you are listening to us, just listen to us on repeat, and that'll get you through storms, I think, is the lesson we've learned.
Yeah. So that was me.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm glad that you were okay. But I know there was like a fair amount of damage up here.
Yes.
To some buildings.
Yep. A church got an entire roof ripped off.
Wow.
Cars got flipped over.
Yeah.
People, their houses
An
got
F2
ruined.
tornado, which is like
Pretty big.
bigger than an F1 and serious.
Yeah. I like that someone was like F2. I was like, is that good? And they're like, no.
Well, none of them are good. I'm
No.
very scared of tornadoes.
Yeah. So it was not great, but we made it and we were fine. And it took us extra long to get here, but we're here now, and wouldn't be any
Conferencing it up.
Conferencing it up, you know.
Conferencing it up.
Okay.
I'm trying to get ahead on some of our book club reading. So we did our book club poll, so we know all the books that we're doing this year. We're doing a supervision book in September called Discipline Without Punishment, which I finished, and I've lent it to Jackie, because Jackie, you're not a big fan of the kind of the businessy supervision books all the time. It seems like your least favorite of the...
The name is not great.
I don't
Yeah.
like the name.
Okay.
Maybe I have started reading it. I've started perusing it because I like to read the last couple pages first and then start at the beginning, and we'll see. Jury's still out.
Okay. Well, you haven't read the whole thing, so...
That's right. I've only read like 4 pages.
Yeah.
Jury's still out.
Jury's still out.
Those 4
All right.
pages haven't sold it. Yeah. So
Here
we got
I
a lot
am.
of book clubs coming up. But what else do we have coming up in August? We talked
That's
about kind
right.
of our own lives, but what episodes do we have coming out this month of August?
Yeah, so for August, we have a treat for you, because last year we recorded a book club on Walden Two.
I love that book.
I remember.
I know you do.
I remember where I was when I was reading Walden 2.
Yeah, I do too. And so even though it was been an entire year, apparently, since we did this, I feel like it was just yesterday that we read and talked about this book, but it's now ready for wide release following its year in the Patreon feed. And so everybody can check that out first and foremost in August. That one's going to be worth 2 CEUs if that's up your alley. And you get to hear us all talk about Skinner's attempt at writing a utopia novel.
And if you're saying to yourself, I don't want to wait a year, I want to already have it in my podcast player. Well, again, patrons get our book club episodes as soon as they come out. So they will have just gotten our July book club selection. So they would already have Walden Two. And if you say, I want what was in July and I want August, I want to complete this summer of book club, because we're still in the summer of book club. It's never going to end. This summer of book club
in the summer
started in April, I think. If you want to complete that, patreon.com/ABA Inside Track. And if you subscribe at the $10 level, you'll get all of those book clubs. You'll get free CEs for listening to those, as well as for our listener choice episodes right away. No waiting required. And if you want to know, our July episode was on I forget the whole title. It's a long title. It's by Dr. Pat Fryman.
Good night. I love you. Sweet dreams. I love you. Now get into bed and go to sleep.
Yes, all about sleep. We had a good time reading that one. It's a nice quick one. And then we'll have Walden 2 from last year coming. You have not heard that. Otherwise, those come out about a year later. But if you're like, I don't want to wait, again, patreon.com/ABA Inside Track. Complete the summer of book club. And then we'll have a September of book club for every. What else do we have, Diana?
Okay, we also are going to do a grab bag for the summer during the month of August. And so given that we've already recorded it, I can let you know the articles that were discussed there. They include an evaluation of and preference for variations of the good behavior game with students with autism by Vargo and Brown. That was a behavioral interventions publication from 2020. Also, is M&M therapy a misnomer or a concerning truth? A descriptive analysis of the use of edible reinforcers in applied behavior analytic research by Kemp, Etheridge, Richling, Drummond, and Soto. That was also Behavioral Interventions 2024. And the ethical landscape of behavior analysis forums on Reddit by Price, Martin Loya, Folkerts, and Hayter, and that was published in Behavior Analysis in Practice 2024.
It was a good grabbing. I did not love the title. I don't remember if I said it on the episode now, but the M&M therapy, that still grinds my gears. Grinds my gears a little, that title. Or the idea that anyone would call us M&M therapy. Grr.
Guess you'll have to listen to the episode to find out more.
I already did.
And then to round out August, we have a listener choice episode in which we're going to talk about quality control in the ABA service industry. So we have 2 articles related to that topic. They are Exploring Quality in the Applied Behavior Analysis Service Delivery Industry by Silbaugh and El Fattel, and that was published in Behavior Analysis in Practice 2022. And Board Certified Behavior Analyst and School Fidelity of Applied Behavior Analysis Services, Qualitative Findings by Max and Lambright, published in the British Society of Developmental Disabilities. Oops, that was a lie. Published in the International Journal of Developmental Disabilities, 2022.
And that one we actually recorded live at the Upstate
The
conference.
UCP.
The UCP conference.
There we go.
Do you want to do that again?
Yeah.
All right.
And that one we recorded live at the UCP conference in Utica, New York, where we are right now.
Yeah, we will be recording it as of
tomorrow.
now. It hasn't been recorded. Was it great? We assume it will be.
Absolutely it was.
Yes, but thank you to our listeners for voting on that. We'll have another poll for a fall listener choice coming out probably at the beginning or kind of the middle of September, probably to be released in late October or November. So we'll be doing those per season. Again, only patrons get to vote on those. So if you haven't subscribed, that's where to go. So you get to choose an episode every season. We're really glad people picked that one because I think quality of ABA is a topic that we talk about all the time. However, when you actually sit down and say, define quality in ABA, the results will surprise you. Number 2 will make you mad, and number 3 will make you click the link.
All right, another thing I want to tell people. Can I go again?
You can go. Sorry, we're recording. My back is to everybody, so I can see the monitor. I can't tell when anyone wants to talk.
Well, I guess this is our errata section. Can I
You want to
Am
move
I
us into
allowed?
errata, Dinah? Go for it. You never do it. Go for it. Move us in. There's no sound effects. I think we're just gonna add a sound effect.
We're here. Errata. Couple things. Jackie has an email that she's going to talk about, but there was an email that came in, and we sometimes get these types of questions, which is, do you offer QABA and or IBAO CEUs? And the answer is yes, we do. We are approved to offer both of those in addition to ACE BACB CEUs as well. So when you're ordering, it may say BCBA number, but you can list these other certification numbers if you have those instead. Totally, totally fine. And we wanted to let you know that we being Rob, did some redoing of the previous episodes page on our website so that now we have sections there for cultural CEUs, which are a requirement for IBAO, and trauma-informed and dual diagnoses CEUs, which are for QABA. So if you are in need of those specifically, they each have their own little sections now and are much easier to find. So make your way over to the previous episodes tab at abainsidetrack.com and you can find them there.
I did some general reorganizing of some of the episode categorizations too, because I think when we did that, it was probably over 100 episodes ago.
Yeah.
So it seemed like it was a good time to sort of clean house and reorganize some of the episodes. So it's a little easier to find them based on the category. If you just want to search in the toolbar, or you can always Google topic plus ABA Inside Track. You'll also find some of our articles.
Yeah,
But
the search bar on the website will give you some results, but if you want to know the best, just go through Google and take ABA Inside Track and then the topic you want, and it will give you as many choices as possible.
yeah, but if you know your CE type, as of January, all of our old episodes will also be through our Patreon feed. So if you're getting our podcast through there, they'll all be there. But through the website or through the Patreon page, everything is organized by type of CE and general topic as well. So that's the easiest way to find that. But again, you can always just Google it too, or do the search on the website if you're looking for episodes, because we are fast approaching episode 300. Who would have thought we'd make it there? Someone at the conference was saying they'd been listening to the show back when they were in grad school when we started in 2016 or so.
Yeah.
Well, they said, I think you only had about 15 or 16 listeners, to which I responded, or 15 or 16 episodes, to which I responded, I think we only had about 15 or 16 listeners back then as well. So it's a long time since then. We're very excited to hear we have people from back then. But a lot of episodes, a lot of organization.
Yes, thank you to our longtime listeners.
Yeah.
Jackie.
All right, I've got some listener emails
Okay.
for you. One is from listener Brittany. She's been listening for a while, and she said that she recently listened to the pronoun episode as she works with a very small EIBI team in Norway. How cool is that?
How cool.
Nice.
And they have a few clients that they work with who have been struggling with this skill. So this episode really inspired her. So thank you. We really loved that episode as well. And she was currently listening to the updated toilet training episode with Dr. Maeve Donnelly that came out in May.
Awesome.
So
That was a fun
really
episode.
Thank you for
Awesome.
listening,
Thank
Brittany,
you.
and for writing in.
Yeah, and we also had another question about... Well, I don't really need to do that one now because
No,
you
I
already
covered
did
it.
So
Yeah.
that's all. That's all I've got for you.
Nice. If you're interested in writing into us, we write back to anyone who writes to us. But if you're interested in maybe having your email read on the show, you can email us at abainsidetrack@gmail.com. Sometimes we'll also read like iTunes reviews. So if you want to leave a review on like Apple Podcasts, that'd be great too. But certainly also folks on the Patreon page can directly message us. And if they're interested in sharing some thoughts, we'll share some of those as well. And that's patreon.com/ABAinsidetrack. A lot of ways to share, but we love hearing from folks. So thank you so much for everyone who's messaged or emailed to us in the past and for this past month. Woo! All right. Well, I think our time is almost up because we have to get ready to wake up and do conference stuff tomorrow. So that brings us to the end of our August 2024 preview. We got a lot of fun episodes coming out. Some of them recorded, some of them to be recorded in 24 hours. And then we'll be moving into Supervision September, the month after that. So stay prepared to hear what we'll be doing then. We know we'll be doing Discipline Without Punishment, Jackie's new favorite book, ? But what other episodes? Well, you'll have to wait until September preview to hear that one. So we hope everyone who's got some summer vacation time in August is enjoying themselves. Folks who've been to conferences, summer conferences, have had a good time at those. And we'll be back next week with the first of our August episodes. But until then, keep responding. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.